So let's get into position now for what's called the hands and knees rear delt fly. So we'll be on our hands and knees. I really like this positioning actually. So we have a lot of other movements, not on our hands and knees, to work our rear delt. So if this position is uncomfortable for you, you don't have to do this one. You can also do it in a kneeling position. So I'll show you that as a variation. But I have to say, I really do like just how my rear delt is working in this position. So to start, we're going to put a band mounted basically between the floor and 4 to 6 inches up from the floor, okay? So pretty low. You want to anchor it as low as you can pretty much, okay? Now, for the kneeling, the hands and knees position, it's also called quadruped or 4-point position. We're going to be so that the band comes out in a straight line to your working hand, and your working hand is going to be opposite the band, okay? So on the opposite side. So just so you know, where you're gonna have your whole body, so that can help you figure that out, okay? Your other hand, the hand that's supporting you, is going to be just behind the band. Now you could do it with it in front of the band. What I found was that it causes me to like lock out my elbow and hyperextend it in order to make room for the band. So that's why I ended up feeling like this was better positioning. So we'll be how that is. Now, normally you'd probably support your hand, support your body with your hand, you know, like a push-up. I have a ganglion cyst on my wrist right now, so I can't do that. It's quite painful. So either one though, hand on the ground, fingers pointed forward, or with a fist, okay? So whatever feels more comfortable for you. With your legs and knees and everything, you want to be positioned so that your thighs are vertical, perpendicular to the ground, with your hip directly over your knee. Is it? Okay, sometimes, you can't see yourself and you can be hard to know if you're actually in the right position. Your toes can either be, tops of your feet flat on the ground or dorsiflexed into the ground, whatever feels better for you, okay? Your arms are straight, but you do want to keep a soft elbow, all right? In this position, think about having a broad chest and pulling the shoulder blades in and down the back, okay? Just like that. So here's just me kind of relaxed, and then here's me with my shoulder blades pulled in and down my back, okay? Engage your core muscles, your abdominal muscles, so that we'll feel like we're really supporting ourselves in this position. Now do a little test before you do anything with the band. Make sure you can lift one arm off the ground and that you feel strong enough and stable with just one arm on the front supporting you, okay? So just test that out, because that's what you'll be doing during the movement. If that feels sketchy for you, like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna fall. Like I said, you can do this position in a kneeling position, which I'll show you a little later, or a different movement, okay? Hi, I'm Razel. If you're a woman in your over 40s like myself and you've been interested in doing resistance training at home with dumbbells or resistance bands, but you're not quite sure, how to begin or how to know you're doing it right, that is what I create, video tutorials that show you just that, as well as full-length tutorials in beautiful outdoor nature settings with chill music, not a bunch of jumping around here. If that sounds like your style, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com. Think about keeping an elongated neck, your eyes looking down, and a neutral neck. So we don't want to have our neck bent up or down, but just nice neutral neck, eyes gazing down during the exercise. Last thing to point out here about positioning before we start the movement is you want to make sure that your back is level, meaning from left to right. The left side of your back and the right side of your back should be level. So you don't want to be kind of, tilted one side or the other, okay? So nice and level there. Your palm, the working hand, is going to be with your palm facing behind you. That's called a pronated grip, okay? And then the supporting arm, remember the arm is straight, but you don't want to lock out the elbow. You want to have a soft elbow, okay? That might feel a little bit challenging at first if you're not used to holding yourself up without locking out the elbows. For me, when I first learned that correct way to hold myself up, it felt very challenging, but after a while, your muscles will adapt to it and you'll be able to do it very capably. All right, now to do the movement, think about initiating the movement by pulling your shoulder blade in close to your spine, and you're gonna pull your arm up to parallel with the ground, keeping the arm straight, and even behind the torso a little bit if possible. You're gonna pause and squeeze there, and then you're gonna slowly lower, and think about the back of your shoulder muscle controlling that descent, controlling the lowering. As you come back down, don't come all the way back down to the ground. Come down to just below, just above the ground, I should say, and then go back up. That will help keep some tension on the muscle, okay? So let's go ahead and do a few now. All right, now I'm gonna show you from the front a few things that'll be a little easier to see than from the side. So hopefully here you can kind of see the position of my fist here, or your hand, whatever you're doing, is directly under the shoulder joint, okay? And then as you pull the arm up, I want you to notice that my torso here doesn't rotate up with the arm like this at all. So it basically only as much range of motion as you have at the actual shoulder joint is how high up you would go. And if I go any higher, for me, I'm gonna have to start kind of rotating my torso up. So you don't want to do that. The torso stays totally still, parallel to the ground, and just moving here at the shoulder joint, okay? You can see how the band kind of comes here in front of my supporting arm. And I'll go ahead and do a few for you now. You can do them with me. Thanks for being with me today, ladies. Once again, I'm Razel, and if you're a woman in your over 40s like myself, and you like my style of teaching, I've got full-length workouts done in beautiful outdoor settings like this using the exercises that I'm teaching. If that sounds good to you, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com.